What is good YouTube, Ollie King here, back with another Mortal Kombat video. This time I'll be looking at MK11 as it already had its last showing at EVO and is on its last stand. I can't imagine many people will come back to it when MK1 releases, so let's send it off with a bang. For all the great memories and friends we made along the way. A game this good just deserves it. In today's video I will look at every piece of cut content I could find for MK11. Whether it be skins, expansions, or even whole combat packs. This game is very dear to me, so you better believe I spend my sweet time researching this topic. Before I cover any of these topics, I should probably mention that not every source I scoured is all that reliable. Hence why I'll pull up a confidence meter in the form of MK logos, which will be shown on the bottom left. 1 means I'm not too familiar with the entry, and 5 means I'm certain of it. I'll start off with something a little goofy. That being Bald Jackie and Bald Frost. Let's just say that this haircut does not fit Jackie whatsoever, and I'm relieved that it never made it in. I found those renders on MK Warehouse, which is like an archive for everything Mortal Kombat, meaning anything on it is legitimate. Now in the case of Frost, it appears that her renders were on the website but got taken down, as I could only find them on Google Images, and of course they have the same exact shade of blue as MK Warehouse's background. Although with Frost I can see how it made sense, since she is cybernetic, being able to detach her head and spin her upper torso. Or another theory, the bold render is only there as it was used as a base for the version of her we see in the story mode introduction. Apparently human Raiden has an in-game render, which makes zero sense since the cutscenes he appears in are all pre-rendered. I don't know, maybe he was planned as a skin at some point, but the devs realized the changes are too minimal to call it a whole new costume. Scorpion was originally able to wear any color of the rainbow, which looking at it would have been amazing. We can see him in blue, green, red, purple, and even a Wolverine looking color palette, which was actually shown off at the first ever gameplay showcase of MK11, a whole 4 years ago. Though I see why most of these colors didn't make it in. Purple got scrapped since a player could confuse him for Rain. Blue got scrapped since someone could mistake him for Sub-Zero. But I cannot tell you why red didn't make it in, or the Wolverine palette. The color of the rainbow that was featured however is a very heavy shade of orange, which just as his rainbow skins has a regular version, a shoulder pad version, and the flame pattern version, which is honestly one of the best looking Scorpion skins in game. And lastly, green was repurposed into the reptile skin. You could get it in the Saurian Combat League season, which is definitely an upgrade considering they even changed Scorpion's skin color and eyes. Oh, he also has some much less memorable cut skins, which had very minimal changes visible. Sub-Zero originally had orange skins, believe it or not, but since Scorpion took them all for himself, Sub-Zero switched to red, which looks a lot nicer on him. He also has skins which are half orange and half purple, so it somewhat made it in. Kano has quite a few cut skins, or other skins which were early concepts. The costume where he rocks his white shirt originally only gave Kano sideburns, whereas now he has his full beard. His young version rocking a ripped sleeve shirt originally had no facial hair, whereas his current version has a mustache. And his tatted up version originally had a full beard, which now only shows his sideburns. And a set of skins which really hurts are actually his classic skins. As we all know they have made it in, but were originally a whole lot more unique, going as far as changing the color of his cybernetic heart and cyber eye. I'm assuming that would also apply to the laser which projects from it. Knowing that these already awesome skins could have been even better is devastating. Leaning off the topic of skins, I found this on Dynasty's YouTube, as it used to be on Vimeo but is no longer available. It is a showcase of the early menus published by one of NetherRealm's UI artists, who appears to no longer work at the studio. To be honest, I don't know if I should include this, as it was most likely just a concept of the menu, which was never planned to make it into the finished version. Anyways, the menu looked very different in the start, as the mode images all had very thick borders which fully encased them. The images themselves were all swapped out in the end. Another iteration even used a whole different backdrop, which was Shang Tsung's island at different times of the day. We also have an early iteration of the character select screen, which uses Injustice 2 renders. Which makes sense considering this mockup was presumably made before any of the 3D modeling work on this game was even started. And the icons combined form a more horizontal shape opposed to the vertical one we got in the end. Also, that render of Scorpion sure is something. In the select screen we can see Injustice 2 stages in the background and MKX shadows fighting each other. And look, one of them is Kenshi. Now that's just foul. It appears guilds were also planned but never made it in, which removed some of the grindy and teamwork based aspects. And lastly, the towers were laid out differently. A skin that doesn't have a render but I'm almost certain was going to make it in was the Osh Tekk disguise skin. There's a very blurry image surrounding this skin, which was published a few weeks before MK11's release. It's pretty funny that at first a lot of people mistook him for Kotal Khan, who has a way sturdier build. It also kind of makes you wonder why we didn't get this skin for the Osh Tekk season. Same can be said for Kung Lao. This Cyber Robocop skin made it in the game as a mod, but it isn't your average mod. It first appeared on an official MK11 Twitter post, which showed this cyborg getting finished by Kotal Khan. Now what makes this even weirder is that we can see with both Cyrax and Sector that if they get fatality'd, they don't have gibs. They just multiply their whole body. But this skin, which is pretty much a recolored Sector, actually has gibs. I genuinely believe that this is a costume pulled from the game files and turned into a complete mod. The only reason as to why I think it didn't officially release is because some of the gibs do look kinda rough and unpolished. A character that was most likely planned at one point and teased is Ash Williams. We got a chainsaw sound effect in one of the combat pack teasers, but it was never built up. A very reliable source that backs this up is the actual credits of the game. Although from what Bruce Campbell himself said, it actually seems like NetherRealm was a bit too hasty, as no real contract was ever made between the devs and the actor.
So when I posted that graphic saying I'm killing this rumor, I had never heard any hint. No one approached me about it, nothing, my reps, nothing. So I went, no, this is wrong.
Right.
I'm not doing shit with that. Sorry, bye. And then like literally phone rang a couple days later, Mortal Kombat.
Ermac briefly appeared in the crypt mode of MK11, but that's about it. He even rocked a whole new attire and was seen flailing around in a cutscene, meaning he might have actually been planned as DLC for the game, but was cut due to time constraints caused by. He would most likely be featured in a third combat pack, but I haven't put it on the list as I could not find a reliable source anywhere on the internet. Supposedly it would feature 3 to 4 characters, one of them being Ermac. The other ones are up for debate. And it would also feature a crypt expansion, adding the Living Forest. And that, my friends, is every piece of cut content from the game that I could find. I'm not good with goodbyes, but MK11 Spotlight is closer than ever to fading. But don't fret, as of the releasing of this video, Mortal Kombat 1 is only 34 days away, assuming you pre-ordered the premium edition. And it seems its life cycle is shaping up to be even longer. Maybe even 4 to 5 years. With a solid roster, endless cameo combinations, and 2 solid guest characters, I think this game will be amazing. Yeah, you can tell it kinda grew on me since my first video regarding it. Anyways, that is all. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Make sure to like and subscribe if you did, and I'll see you in the next one. Peace.